Welcome back to another live stream on Faraday Academy. Hi, Kim. I'm going to go ahead and get into the code. All right, so if this is your first time here, then the code that we're going to be working on in this live stream is at my GitHub, which is GwenF, and it's the curriculum-app repository. You can see, if you go into the code, there's a README describing the project and all the details about it, so you can take a look if you don't know about it yet. But we've been working off of basically this dev tasks board, project board on GitHub. And in this stream, we're going to work on, well, first we're going to work on the sending auth tokens with requests, because we kind of set up authentication, log in, log out already. A simple version anyway, and now we need to send the auth token to the server with the request and finish setting up authenticated routes. I got a quarantine cut, so it was actually, I was trying to cut my own hair and I couldn't get it to even out, I guess. I'm not a hairdresser. Apparently I'm not very good at cutting hair. So I figured the only way I was going to get it even was to shave it. So I just said, okay, let me try it. But yeah, I kind of like it. It's kind of nice. Hey, Aslam, how are you? All right, so getting into the project. Now I already have, here it is. I already have my front end and my back end running. And then here's the code. The front and back end are all in the same repo. So yeah, let's look at in the front end, in source, let's see. I have my Vuex state in my store. And I made this new module auth because there were just getting to be too many actions and all the other stuff in there. So in here, I have the actions to log a user in, to register a user, and to log a user out, basically. And now for other requests, so for the standard requests that aren't like logging in or registering, I have to send an auth token with all of these requests. So I'm going to set up Axios to use an auth token, basically. And someone last stream suggested that I should set up Axios middleware for it, which I can't remember how to do. So we could just attach, let's see. Yeah, in this post request, I think we could send a third argument, and it would just be config with an authorization header, or we could just attach that to every single request. So I'm going to take a look at the Axios docs. And if anyone has an idea about something I should be doing, or you know what I should be doing, then just type it in the chat. So let's see, Axios docs. Yeah, I guess so. Also, just a quick aside, I'll be live streaming tonight. I'm on EDT, so Eastern Time in the US. And I'll be live streaming an interview with a Vue.js developer tonight. He wrote the library Vutensils. So I'm going to post that live stream as soon as I'm done with this one. I think that will be really interesting. All right. So where are the docs? So these are just basic examples. Sending a post request. These aren't linkable. Okay. So now it has all of the options. Let me see. You may modify headers. Okay. Request config. These are available config options for making requests. Only the URL is required, which is basically what I'm passing in, or what you have to pass in anyway. Okay. Standard auth. But I just want to send the token. response schema. Hi Derek, how are you? I think for now I might just add the header onto the Axios. Oh, we can set defaults. This is probably what I want. You can specify config defaults that will be applied to every request. Yes, this is exactly what I want. Okay, let me copy this. Base URL. So if I do base URL, that should mean that I can, to a request, I can just pass in after the /, right? Hi Elbrisa, how are you? Where do you work? I don't think you mentioned your work before. Okay, content type. I think we're just using the default content type anyway, which is application JSON. Okay, good. So I'm gonna, let's see, for the Axios request here, base URL, I'll put it here. So defaults base URL. So I'm gonna copy this. Oh, oops. Undo. There, and I'll paste it inside. I'm still getting used to using Vim bindings on here. Okay, so I have the base URL, and I'll leave this here for a second. API URL, okay, and then the auth token. So I'm gonna have to get this off of state. So I wonder if there's a setup, because I need access to state here, which is outside of this export default. So let's look at my index. So what I could do is set up Axios here and then give the, I guess, export the same Axios config to all of these components. Oh, cool. So you automate that. So I'm guessing you use Python, right? I was reminded of the jump list. The jump list? What's the jump list? Oops. You mean like jumping to different files and stuff? Oh, okay. Yeah, learning Python at the moment. Okay. Um, 5J. Oh, right, because you can jump to different lines. Back and forth. Yeah, that's one of the things, my favorite things about Vim is that I can either type in the line number, or I can jump up and down, or I can go to the beginning or the end really easily. So yeah, it's from the file. Yeah, so obviously I cut my hair, but I wasn't planning on cutting it this short, but I was just giving myself a haircut because I couldn't get a haircut and it was so uneven. I just said, forget about it. I'm just going to cut it all off and start over. So that's what happened. Okay, so I need to get the auth token, which is... So I could store this in local storage and then pull it off, which is what I think I should do right now. Hi, nobodies. It's good to see you. Yeah, I think I'll do that because right now, I mean, the auth token is just... Oh, I think I broke it. Yeah, definitely broken. Well, I can't show you, but the auth token is stored on state on the user object in auth. So, I think what I'm going to do is when a user logs in, I'm going to, let's see, log in. I commit the mutation. I think I'm going to put it on local storage and then just use that to pull off. So I can't even remember what it is. Is it set local storage? There's some kind of method like that. Set local storage JavaScript. Let's see. Just need the method name. Set item, local storage.set item. That was it. All right. Okay, local storage.set item. What am I setting? The token, and then I think it will be res.data.token. And I think that's what we're sending back from the backend. Let me look in the server, the auth API, login, we get the token. Yeah, it's sent back on token on the payload. Okay, so I'm setting the token in local storage now, and now I can pull that out here and say local storage. We haven't done a whole lot yet. Hi, Lars. Hi, Athmane. Local storage dot get item, and then we'll get the token. Okay. So that will set the authorization header default. And then Axios.default's base URL. Okay, that's good, but we'll have to update these calls. So let me change the get curricula real quick. So await API. So instead of API URL, I'm just going to pass in, because I have the base URL already set. So I think I should be able to pass in just curricula, and let's see if that works. Let me see if my app's even running. Okay, good. All right, view all. Cool. So let me look at the network request. And I have a 200 for the get curricula. The response is it's returning all the curricula objects. Sweet. Let me just hard refresh just in case. Yep, it's working. Awesome. So then I can just pass in the endpoint that I want. Okay. I'm gonna get rid of these, but first, actually, I guess I'll have to come into each one of these methods and update it. So post curriculum will just be the same thing as I did for get, because I'm gonna post to curricula. Yes, I did work with GraphQL, I think 2 jobs ago. It's really nice. I really like GraphQL. I haven't worked with it in Vue though, aside from like testing out a tutorial. I worked with it in React. Okay, so yeah, the post will be the same. Patch. Okay, so I'm doing /ID. So here I'm gonna update with curricula and then body, and I should be seeing my header request with all of these. I'm just gonna finish updating real quick. API URL, so that's curricula 2 /sections. Okay. Oh, I don't know why I did that. Delete. That's curricula. That's all good. So I think all of these were actually curricula because we put the auth endpoints in the other file. Oh no, there are endpoints for the count, or there are calls to the count endpoint in here somewhere. Oh yeah, just one at the end. All right, so curricula, and then that. And then here. Okay, curricula, and then this count one. So I should just do count. And now I'll get rid of these and see if it's broken, if I forgot anything. Cool, it appears to be working. That's good. Let me see if I have any errors. API URL is not defined. Okay, so I missed one somewhere. Let me see. API URL. Oh, this is just logging. Let me get rid of that. Okay. So no results now. Okay, so that's good. That works. And now with requests, I should see, let me look at one of these requests I made. So curricula, I should see that there's a header going out. Yeah, when I'm gonna do something on Gridsome pretty soon, and that will have GraphQL with it. They have a nice default GraphQL setup. So I guess I have used it in Vue, but it was set up with Gridsome. Okay. Curriculum get where's the headers? Header. Authorization. Okay. It's doing object. So let me look at storage. Let's see, local storage. So I am saving my Vuex on here. Oh, I didn't log in yet. That's why. That's why there's nothing there. Okay. And I should set a default if there's no token, just an empty string. Okay, let me log in. I think my login was gwen@example.com, and then it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let me submit. That looks good. And now I have my token here. Okay, so with the last request, I should be sending an authorization token now. So let me look at this. Oh, that's in options. Let me go here. Authorization, still object. Is that what it's supposed to look like? Oops. Okay, well, I'm getting everything back, but I'm not setting. Okay. So now I need to make it so, let's see. When you try to update curriculum, you have to be authorized as that user, basically, to make updates. Okay, so that's the auth endpoint. So in the backend, in the curriculum endpoints, to post a new curriculum, you have to be authenticated, basically. And you can be authenticated as any user. Because it doesn't matter if you're going to create a new curriculum. So you have to be, just logged in as anybody. So how am I going to do that? Here, where did we leave off last time? So we have auth and, okay, so we have auth middleware where we're checking the token here. And I think what we did, so for users, we have the auth middleware imported here, but for count, I think we're going to have to use something, or no, not for count. For curricula, we're going to have to use something else because we just want to check for certain endpoints that they are a certain user. So I guess let's start with users then. To pull back users/user ID, you have to be authenticated. So I guess to do that, we want to pull back the user object when someone logs in. So let me update the login page on the login action. So here we're doing login. So I think also we want to get user information here. Actually, we want to log user out. So after this, we want to async get user. Should we call it get user? I guess it could be get user. And or get user data or info. Okay, so if we get the user from the database, pull back the user object, which right now isn't anything different from auth. So they'll have to be authenticated for it. Oh, right, we're not setting up. All right, so there's a lot of pieces here. So we're not setting that up here. All right. So I could do the /users in the database. I only have username, email, and password though. So let me think. So this isn't a good example to pull back user because I have no other user information and they're already getting that info when they log in. So yeah, I'm gonna have to set up custom auth for these endpoints. So let me go back to the curricula and see. So I wonder, so in Express routing, can I just authenticate this single endpoint? I wonder if I can pass in some kind of config option. Express router authentication. Let's see. Okay, so he's asking. Okay, basically the same thing. So you can pass in authentication as the second parameter here. Express media. Media protected. And call the middleware on the protected routes. Okay, so they would be importing protected and unprotected. And then it would be api.route, route protected. I think that might be what I'll have to do. Because then they import protected and unprotected routes. This is actually a good idea, the more I think about it. Okay, so where do you start? So you start with express.router. So he's basically making two different routers there. So I have basically router and then protected. And if anyone has a better idea, let me know. So protected router and the regular router. And then here, so instead of chaining these, I'm going to have to do protected router. Or should I call this auth router? I'll call this auth router. And then this would be the same endpoint. So this would be a /, but the post request is protected. Express JWT middleware. So we did set up this auth middleware last time, so we are using JWT tokens. Yeah, sorry if this is confusing because I'm kind of bouncing back between files, but I'm basically in the same, I guess, API. I'm trying to make some of the routes protected and some not protected. And in the index, so all the user routes are protected, all the users' routes, but the curriculum ones I want some protected, some not protected. So I think what was discussed in that Stack Overflow is a good option, creating two different auth routers, since I already have the middleware. And then what they're saying to do is basically pass in, let's see, curricula, the what is it? Oh yeah, the auth middleware here to one of these auth middleware and to the, okay, I'm gonna have to import the curricula and auth curricula. Okay, and then I think that should work. I'm not exporting these yet though, so I'll have to export router and auth router. Oops. So router and auth router. And I'm going to export these as auth curricula so I can pull them in. And then what was the other one? Oh yeah, just regular curricula. Okay, I think that's what I'm expecting. So now I have this auth router endpoint. So you have to be logged in to create one. Okay, let's see if this works. So right now I'm logged in, but let me log out. I'm logged out and now, oh right, so local storage, I'm not clearing local storage when I log out. I'm just going to do that real quick because I'm not invalidating tokens right now. So where is that? Here's the logout. So let's see. So I'm clearing the user information from the store already. So I have to do local storage dot. Good, there's a remove item, and that will be token. So I'll remove the token. And now I'll try to, well, in this case, I'm just going to delete it. All right. So now I'm logged out. I'm going to come try to create a new curriculum. I'm going to call it Gwen's Study. Or no, I'll call it Node Basics or something. All right. I don't think I need anything else. That's the only mandatory field. Let me click Save. And actually, I'll have the network open. So save doesn't do anything. That's just one of my plugins. So I think I do need one section maybe. So let me do node HTTP or something. All right, and save that. And I must be getting a 500 error because it's just on options and not returning anything. Okay, app crashed. Cannot read property next on string /. Okay, so that's in my auth middleware. Now I have so many files open. I'm going to close some. Okay, auth. For some reason, it's not sending invalid token. It's crashing. So router index.js request.next cannot read property next on string /. Let me just see if I made a mistake here. Oh, right. I have to do .route. Okay, I think that was my issue. So let me try that again. Let me try posting. Okay, good. Now I get the 401. My response is invalid token, which is exactly what I expected or what I wanted. Okay, so that's invalid. I'm not showing any user feedback, so I should show something there. Let's see. So if I get a 401, invalid token, then I should, what should I do? What should I do? I need to give the user some kind of toaster notification saying they have to be logged in first. Which, okay, so maybe the flow of this should be, because they can't create one without being logged in, so I shouldn't even let them come to this page if they're not logged in, right? So I should hide this if they're not logged in, this create page and the, where is it? The create button. Let me hide those since the user, that's kind of tricking them. So they fill out all their information and then they realize they have to log in and navigate to a different page and lose all that information. Okay, so where do I need to go? The top nav. Let me go views. It's not in views, it's in my components in Vue. So top nav.view. And I'm already getting the user object. I'm mapping the state, the user object to this component because I'm checking if they're logged in here. So I'm just going to copy that and then put it here too. So if if user.token, so if they're logged in, show this button. If not, then don't show the button at all. And I'm going to copy this because I also need it on the Vue page, which is in my views and display curricula. So where they display the whole list of curricula, I have this create new button, and I'm just going to hide that if they're not logged in. But that also means I'm going to have to map state here. So, and I need to map the auth state, the user object. So let me come here. I'll have to do a second map state because here I'm mapping these from the root state and this is from the namespaced auth state. So I'll just have to do that twice, I think. Okay, and now this should work. Sweet, so if you're not logged in, you don't see the create one at all. I think that's much better. And now let me log in. So Gwen at example.com and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Submit. Cool. And now I see the create button and I can create. And let me make sure that it lets me create. And then save. Oh, it's still a 401. Why does it say invalid token? Let's see. So valid token. So let me try to debug this in my REST client. So I'll do localhost 5000 API v1 / curricula. I'm doing a post request. Or let me do get first. So I get them all just fine. That's good. And now I want to do a post request. So I'm going to have to add, let me add first the content type. I always get tripped up on that one. Content type, which is JSON. Okay. And now I need to add the authorization header. And let me steal the token from here. Oops. Where is it? Yeah. All right. Let me take that. So bearer, and then the token, that looks good. And now I need to, I think it's just name that's required. So name is node. And let's see if that works. Nope, it's not working. Let's see. Oh, created by is required. It could have been. Yeah, that's a good point. It could have been missing the bearer when I did it locally. Let me just real quick add a created by and make sure it's working in the REST client. So created by, and I need to pass in a Mongo user ID. So let me steal the user ID from somewhere. Should be in my Vuex store. Okay, user ID, here it is. So let me grab the ID and okay, so let me try that. Nope. What's wrong this time? So, okay, let me reset the server. Now, it says created by is required. Curriculum validation failed, created by. I think it's a problem on the back end. Oh, am I doing that? Oh, yeah. Nope, it's a problem with me. Thanks. Okay, good. Sweet. So it posted. And now I do have node and node now. Great. Okay, so that works. So I think, yeah, you're right. That it needs to be, I need to add a bearer. I thought maybe Axios did that for me. But I guess they don't assume anything. Where is it? It's in, no, it's in my actions. Authorization. So here, oops, let me escape. I'll put bearer, and then there. Oh yeah, this is also a variable. So I'll put this. Storage. Okay. So that looks pretty good. I should make this a ternary actually. So if there is a token in local storage. So let me first get const token equals that, and then if there's a token, I'll do oh yeah, token. And then if there isn't a token, then I'll just do an empty string. Oh right, it's not a variable. What am I doing? Okay, thanks. That's good. Yeah, that should work. Yeah, thanks everyone. Okay, so this should work. Did I spell this right? Yeah, I did. Okay. Sometimes when I look at a word so much, it looks like it's spelled wrong. All right, so let me see if these auth requests work now. So go here, and I'm gonna create GraphQL and APIs. I don't know. Doesn't really make sense. Sweet! Awesome! So I have my first authenticated creation. All right, let me look at the request. Yeah, it's passing the authorization just fine. That's good. Okay, so you have to be authorized to create something. That's good. And now since you can create, you also need to be authorized to update things. So I think, let's see. This is a lot because I want just any person to be able to come in here, click through these, look at them. So I need all my GET requests to be not authenticated and all other requests to be authenticated. So let me just split the GET request from everything else, I guess. I think that will work. So this, and then I'll just copy this. All right, now I have these two. And then, oh yeah, I need to. So the post, and then patch. I'm gonna update these routes in a second. And then post again. And then these, and that's it, I think. Refresh if you log in. Yeah, so I don't actually have any refresh tokens at all. I'm also not expiring tokens yet. Do parent route, for example. I do like history mode. It's just when I'm first setting up an app, you know, the hash router is just easier to use. But I mean, eventually this is going to be using history mode. But I never said I didn't like history mode. It's just easy when I like first start the Vue application to do this. To expire after 2 hours and be done. Am I setting an expiration? I can't remember. Where am I creating it? That's middleware. It's in utils, so JWTs. Algorithm. No, I'm actually not setting an expiration on this. Yeah, so that's something I need to do. So let me do that in a second. Let me finish what I'm doing here. Let's see, get rid of that. And then let me put these together so they're they look a little bit better. Okay, so that's just sections. And then section ID. Let's see, type. And then this one, does that, yeah, that matches up. Okay. So I have all of those routes. And so to update anything, you have to be authenticated right now. Yeah, I need to set an expiration. So I have created a self-service web app used by 500 customers. Didn't really bother with JWT refresh, just set it to expire in 1 to 2 hours, never had any complaints. So wait, that means they have to, you log them out after 2 hours and they have to log back in? Because if you can't refresh, I guess you'd constantly have to be logging back in, right? I could do like 24 hours. Okay. So, wait, is the expiration, is that in the header or is that in the body? Oh, you, I think it refreshes. So I don't have a refresh token, so I can't generate a new token, but I might just set this for a long expiration and then force them to log back in when it expires. Yeah. Hey Cyberpunk, how are you? That's one of my favorite pictures now of my art with looking like Codebender. Actually, Jared made it. He's one of the people in the stream sometimes. He made it for me. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can look at one of the recent pictures on my Instagram. And someone made me look like the airbender. I don't think this library does provide a refresh token. So I think I'd have to use a different library to use the refresh token, but I can do exp for expiration for right now. Let's see. Wait, let me get rid of this. Okay. exp on JWT tokens. So is this in the body or is it in the header? Yeah, that's basically what I'm going to do right now. Direct them to log in when it expires. It's in the body. Okay. So let me get, so in the payload then, I have to do exp and then give it a new date, right? A new date of some kind. New date times, do I do times? Times however many milliseconds. 1,000. No, that's not very many seconds. Okay, day in milliseconds. One day equals this many milliseconds. Okay. Is this right? No. New timestamp. How do I get a timestamp? Oh wait, this would be plus. That's going to be a really big number if I times that. Okay, so new date JavaScript. How to JavaScript date timestamp. date.getTime, is this a timestamp? Let me try it in the console. Okay. So, sweet. Awesome. That's what I'm looking for. When did I start coding? As a teenager, I was trying to build RPGs that were kind of like Earthbound or Golden Sun style. I also updated my MySpace page back then. Wait, I just forgot what I was doing now. Oh yeah, get time. That was it. Called the get time method. Oops. Get time. And then I went to college for software engineering. Didn't graduate. Kind of traveled and did other things. And then I got back into, or I wanted to become a professional developer in 2014. So then I got hired in 2015, and that was the end. Yeah, Earthbound's actually my favorite RPG. It's such a cool game. So well designed. They don't come up with a lot of funky stuff like that. Like Mario's an Italian plumber in a Japanese game with a bunch of weird stuff. In Earthbound, you have retro hippies and all the other stuff. It was really cool. Okay, so this should expire in a day. But to test this, I'm going to make this expire in 2 milliseconds. So let's try this now. Let me log out, do a hard refresh, and now I will log in. Oops, at example.com. And then, yeah, I still need to make the login redirect, but I'll do that right after I do this. So, okay, so I logged back in. Now it shouldn't let me create a new one because the expiration of the token. So, name is, let's see. Yes, I got a 401. And it says invalid token. Cool. Let me log out. All right, so get rid of that. Cool. So now I have a token that expires in a day. I think that's good enough. I'm not going to add a refresh token now, maybe later, because that would mean I need a whole new library or to do it myself. So these are functional for now. So I do need to upgrade this auth router at some point because right now it's just checking that you're a logged in user. You can be any user and update anyone else's stuff right now. So that's not a good thing. I need to be checking that you're the right user. What tool did I use for the mockups? I used Balsamiq. That's my favorite mockup tool because it's just easy. I can drag a couple things onto the page, do a basic layout. It's not anything fancy, but there are a ton of options for it. Now, Balsamiq has an offline one that you download, which is the one I use, and they also have a new subscription web tool, which is similar, I think. But I haven't tried the web one yet. Do I watch Tech Lead's video? So I haven't heard of Clement. I don't think so. I might have seen his videos. I watch a lot of videos. But I know Tech Lead. I'm not like a big follower. I don't know that much about him. And I try to stay away from any videos. I know recently there was some kind of drama that happened. I just tried to avoid those kind of videos. Yeah, I don't think he does tutorials either. I think he kind of talks about his experience in coding. I'm not sure what else he does. Yeah, I don't know much about that or what's going on there. Okay, what was I doing? Oh, right. Next, I need to redirect to login. Yeah, I did one video on scams because I was personally involved with that, but I don't want to do any more videos. People have brought it up with me to see if I wanted to do more of those, but that's not the type of content I want to create, really. I know it was a popular video, but I just don't really like talking about that stuff. Right, redirect to login. So how am I going to do this? So if I get a 401 back, so let's say I'm in my action, I call maybe this route. The response is a 401. So I want to redirect them to login. So how am I going to do that? Should I put middleware? Where would that middleware belong? Let's see. It could be Vuex router, but then how would the router know about what's happening? Or no, Vue router, but how would the router know what's happening in Vuex? Let's see. Post curricula, get curricula. So I could manually reroute and check on every route. Okay. Yeah, I was kind of rambling. So now what I need to do, so let's say if this API request returns a 401, an invalid token response, then I need to redirect the user to the login page. So I need to figure out, where do I put that redirect? Because I don't want to manually put it everywhere. I want my app to catch the 401 and then just automatically redirect them. So I wonder, Axios interceptors. Thanks. Axios interceptors. Is it ORS? Dino. Dino's exciting. I don't know if it'll take over. I think it has some good ideas. We'll see. I think, isn't it the creator of Node that's behind that? The team seems to really know what they're doing and how to design things. Let's see. Handling access and refresh tokens with interceptors. Axios interceptors allow you to run your code or modify the request and a response before the request or response is started. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so get service. So this is just saving tokens. And then you're getting all the tokens into this, I guess, Axios config file. And local storage service comes from, so is this the service? Yeah, this is the local storage service. Okay. Add a request interceptor. And they're trying to modify each request header to set access token in the authorization HTTP header. All right, so axios.receptors.use. Axios. Okay, so this, okay, cool. You set an interceptor on the request. Yeah, all this Axios config, I'm gonna have to move it into another file. Oh, cool. As you can see, the following condition I am checking. If the request has a 401 status code, then you reject it. So Axios.interceptors.response is what I will do. Okay. And then, oh, that's weird. Okay, so it has one function and then there's a callback function here. Am I reading that right? Yeah, I think so. Okay. I'm trying to, so if I get a 401 back from the API call, then I want to reroute them to the login page. This is on the front end. The backend's in Node.js. But this is, I have Vue.js on the front end. Okay, so I'm gonna have to look at the Axios interceptor docs. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So this is resolve and reject. Okay, thanks, I get it. Axios cheat sheet. Where's the Axios documentation? I guess it doesn't have a website, or maybe all the docs are just in here in the README. Form data. Okay, axios.interceptors.request.use. Cool. Interceptors. You can intercept request and response before they are handled by then. Before you can add token. Yeah, I can add a token before. So I should update this again, I guess. Or my default works well too. A before request reject. Okay, so request.use and response.use. So this is what I want. Any status code that lie within the range of 200 cause this function to trigger. Do something with response data. Any status code that falls outside of the range of 200 cause this function to trigger and do something with the response. Okay. So yeah, for right now, I'll just include this in the same file and see. So I don't need this. Return promise.reject. And then from here, I want to redirect, right? And I'm already passing in the router here, so I can do, I think I can do router.replace and then login. Is that going to work? What do you say? Who's that big guy behind you? You just scared me for a second. Okay. All right, so yeah, so router.replace login. Oh, let me go back to my app. All right, so let me what should I try to do? Let me try to do create. I'm not supposed to be there. Oh, wait, let me get a 401 here. Oh yeah, cool, cool. Yeah, you scared me for a second. All right, it does correctly redirect. So this works. Cool. Um, don't have an account. Yeah. Um, when else should I? Yeah, I guess that's a good time to redirect. Now let me get this out of this file. So, let me create. What should I do? Let me create. Let me just create a new file called Axios config. I'll just put it here for now. .js. Take all of this out of here and put it in here. And then, okay. And then here, I'll also take that out. And then I'm going to import Axios from, instead of from the library, I'm going to import it from Axios config. Okay. That's good. And now in Axios config, I need to export default Axios. And then real quick, I'm just going to remove all of the semicolons. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Is there anything else I need to add right now? Let's see. We have the sign up, which is working. So let me do sandy@example.com. Losing my voice. Oh, this is the username. Sandy@example.com. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. Sign up successful. That looks nice. Sandy@example.com. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, right. So Sandy is now seeing everybody's stuff. So I think we want to create tabs here. So let me go ahead and do that. We're at 1 hour and 8 minutes. That's fine. So instead of Sandy seeing everything, I want her to see, let's see, her own and then all. I could rumble about Axios create instance, but let's say it's good. Yeah, I think it's good enough for now. We could probably spend days and days refactoring this app at this point. All right, let me close all of these. Oh, do I like TypeScript? Honestly, I'm not a huge TypeScript fan. I definitely think it has its use cases, but there are also drawbacks. You know, there's like good things and bad things about it. I definitely like type checking overall, and I'm kind of sad that JavaScript doesn't have a built-in type checking system without compiling. There are some libraries. I don't know if I've mentioned this on a stream before, but there are some libraries in JavaScript where you can do runtime type checking. And then of course there's prop type checking in like React and Vue and those libraries. I definitely think for large projects, for example, this VS Code project that was built in JavaScript, TypeScript is good when you have a lot of team members, a lot of stuff that can go wrong. Yes, it's called TypeScript. Okay. Actually, I really don't like ketchup. I pretty much eat everything with mustard. But either way, that's okay. Okay, cool. We'll have tabs. So you can see your own curricula that you've created, or you can tab over and see all of them. And I think I'll just use the default tabs here for right now. Oh, this is very easy. It's just this. Oh, where's the tab content? I guess I'll find that in a minute. So let me close all of this stuff. Source. Heinz or bust. There's just so much corn syrup and ketchup. It tastes like this sweet, I don't know, like this tomato dessert. It's weird. I guess if it was just tomatoes or something, it would be good. Because I like pasta sauce a lot and pizza sauce. Okay. Now I completely forgot what I was doing. Oh yeah, I was adding tabs to the display all page. So views, let's see, display, and now, so I still have the header. I want to keep, let's see, I want to keep this header intact. So the button and curricula, but I'll get rid of all here. So get rid of all. And then, okay, so below this is where I want to put the tabs. So I'll put them, can I have multiple routers, you mean on the front end or on the back end? And then some other for tabs. You can have, I think that you would just handle that with child routes, like nested routes. I don't think there's any reason to have multiple instances of Vue router. I really can't see a reason to do that. Okay. Yeah. By the way, that's one of the best decisions that the Vue core team made, was to include the router and the state management as part of the core ecosystem. So it works so well with Vue. Okay, so I have the tabs. Now let me look at a different example here. This one's good. So I have tabs. Okay, well, they're just looping through. Okay, tab items. vmodel tab. How do you differentiate between the different tab items? Am I missing something here? So, okay, vmodel tab. v4 item and items. I guess you have a key. Is the key what matches up? Let me look at items here. Appetizers, entrees, desserts, cocktails. Text. Okay, they're just reusing the text. And then tab would be, let's see. Okay, vmodel tab. What's the default? Null? So I guess it defaults to the first one, maybe? All right. I guess that's what they're doing. So that's kind of a confusing example. Let me see if I can vmodel this. Equals current tab. Also, I'm only going to have two options. And let me, current tab, I'm going to set it as 1. I don't want to use a null value. And also, so here, I'm going to do, let's see, my curricula, and then all, maybe all curricula. And actually, when you go to a certain tab, I'm going to have to set up a watcher. So when the tab changes, I'm going to have to make an API request for the data for that tab. Okay. Actually, that doesn't look bad at all. Oh yeah, that's right. I did set a theme on Vuetify, so it kind of matches with the rest. I don't think it looks bad. Maybe it needs some spacing. Okay. And now I need to differentiate between the tab content. So let's see, how do I handle this? Actually, I don't, because this is going to be the exact same no matter what. All I'm going to do is fetch different data. So let me look at the Vue DevTools and see what's happening here. So Vuex, let's see, current. Oh, no, I have to look at the component data. Find the current tab. Current tab 1, 0. Okay, 1 and 0. So let me default this to 0 then. It starts off at the right place. Yeah, I don't know. I think that was just a random thought he had. I don't think anyone would need multiple front-end routers. I don't see any benefit unless you have multiple Vue.js applications injected in different parts. Okay, so now I have to intercept this change when this changes from 0 to 1, and then make a different call based off of that. And I also need to create a different endpoint. Yeah, exactly. So, okay, what do I do first here? So I need a watcher, right? A Vue watcher. Is that what I need? Because I want to watch for when that variable changes. Vue watcher. If you had multiple apps, though, I think you'd need multiple instances of Vuex, unless you were sharing state between them via local storage, kind of saving state to local storage on all your Vue apps to share it somehow. Computer properties and watchers. Yeah, I guess you could. Let's see. Okay, computed. To observe and react to data changes on a Vue instance, watch properties. Okay. So you do something. So from watchers, can I call an async method from watchers? Do you think that's a good pattern? Okay, Cyberpunk. I used to love Redux, but I think Vue or Vuex is better designed, especially when they get rid of different actions and reducers. I think they're marrying those into one. Not reducers, actions and mutations. So Redux had some good ideas. I think now that you have the context API in React and some other things, you don't necessarily need Redux anymore. And there's also MobX, which is nice. Oh, hi CW. Did you like the course? That's actually my first online course I've ever created. So I was excited that they posted that yesterday. Okay, so am I doing this right? Am I thinking about this right? Let's see. Let me make watch here. So watch is an object of methods here, and I think, yeah, it'll be a function that corresponds to the name of the variable I want to watch. So in this case, it will be current tab, and then this will run whenever current tab changes. Thank you. Let's see. Okay, console.log changed. Oh wait, I get the value here, so let me do the value. So val, oops, val. Okay. So let me, cool. Okay, so the watcher's working. Now, I know from computed you're not supposed to have extra side effects. So I wonder if watchers, if it's a good pattern to call an async method, which is going to call and update data from here, but we'll see if this works. So now from display curricula, I'm going to refresh these, and I think on mounted, yeah, on mounted, so I do get curricula. So from here, I'm going to call get curricula. So let's see. If val equals 0, oops, then I'm going to have to create a new action called get user curricula. And else, meaning if it's 1, then I want to get all of the curricula. And that will update the data and refresh this. Okay. UX is more modular. Yeah, I can't keep up with everything. All right. So it seems like no one has said I'm doing this wrong, so this is what I'm going to keep doing. So let me make this new action. So get user curricula. So you can't lazy load parts of the store. Is that, can you not? That's something I'll have to look up after. I'm sure someone, I mean, with companies like Alibaba and Baidu using Vue, I would think you'd have to have that functionality. Unless they created their own store. Oh, can you load modules async? Or lazy load? Okay. Let me get back to this. So get user curricula. Let me do this. Oh yeah. So now I need to go into my store, actions. Okay, so here I have curricula. So let me just duplicate that, and I'll call this one user curricula. And Axios. So how should I make this API? Because I haven't made the backend API for this either. So should I call it curricula /users /user ID, or should I call it users /user ID? It should be, oh, this is what it should be. Yes. So it should be users /user ID /curricula. I think that's the right way. Okay. So on the back end, I need to create that first. Let's see, where am I? Curriculum. So it should be in, oh wait, I'm in the database. Let me go in the server, API. So yeah, this will be my first users. Oh no, I already have one. It will be my second users endpoint. So, or third, because this one returns all users. All right. So here, I'm going to do, so user ID / curricula. And then I'll do a get request. And so async request response. And then, okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to get the user ID, but I think the query I'm going to be making here is to curricula table and not to the users table. Yeah, I think having to scale an app is a good problem to have. A lot of companies, I think most companies start off with an app that's not going to be able to scale. Like what Twitter did, a large Ruby on Rails app that they completely rewrote after a few years. Okay, so I have user ID. So now I need to import the curriculum from database. All right. I have user. Oh wait, I'll just import them both. What am I doing? So curriculum from database, and now I need to make the query. So I'm going to do const curricula equals await curriculum dot find. I'm going to change that in 1 second, but first I'm going to set this up. So res.send curricula. So now all I have to do is find by user ID, or it's find by created by. So I wonder if I can do this, and then, so if you're the user who created this curriculum, then it will find here. Yes, I'm getting hungry too. I'm probably gonna have noodles after this. Let's see. It's been almost an hour and a half. I'm just gonna finish this real quick. So const curricula. By the way, here it's 11:30 already. Yeah, so it's almost lunchtime. Can I do this? Can I do a find and then pass the object that I want to find? I guess I'll have to see. So I've made so many changes, it probably doesn't fully work. This.getUserCurricula is not a function. All right, good. Let's see. Oh, because I haven't saved it yet. Also, I need to change this. And I need to pass in the user ID here. So let's see, how am I passing it in other places? Oh, I'm not passing it in here. That's fine. So I'll get payload here, and const ID equals, or I should call it user ID because there are other IDs around. Okay, so user ID and then equals payload. All right, and now I have to pass that in from the component. So let's see. User ID. Okay, so here I have to pass in user ID. So where do I get user ID from? Oh, I have it. I have user right here. That's good. So I'll just pass it directly. So this dot user dot ID, and I think it's just ID, but I can see in Vuex. So auth user, yeah, and then ID. So I get the user ID. I pass that in. Otherwise, I just get all curricula. So let me see if this works. Too early for noodles. Okay, so there's some other kind of error. Kansas City. Oh, 10:30 in Kansas City. Oh, Kansas City, that's cool. You guys have one of the best developer conferences. Kansas City, what is it? Yeah, Kansas City Developer Conference. It might be my favorite one that I've ever been to. This dot get user curricula is not a function. Why isn't it a function? I'm pulling it in here, so I'm mapping. Oh, I'm mapping state. What am I doing? Get out of there. Map actions. That's what I need to do. Get user curricula. Cool. Awesome. So oh, right. So I think it's, let me check the request. See if it's working. So curricula, get, something's not working. I think my backend's messed up. So let me see. Cast object ID failed for value undefined at path created by from model curriculum. So I'm wondering, this could be a couple things. This could be a couple things. It could be because some of the old data that I still have maybe doesn't have created by. Let me do a get request here. And in the preview, okay, name ID, description. Yeah, I don't have created by. Really? Oh, created by here. Node and created by here. But my earlier ones don't have created by. So I think it's a mismatch of data. So I have to go and delete these. So I have to, let's try getting this ID. Let's see. Make a delete request and see if that works. Okay, success. Successfully deleted. Now let me get the other one. I think there's just two that I needed to delete. This one. Okay. So yeah, it was about time to clean up the data anyway. Let's do another delete request. Okay, and now get, and I just have two left, and they both have created by. Let me see how the app responds now that all the data's the same. Okay, that looks good. Good so far. Now, okay. Oh, and now it's getting stuck. So it's getting stuck on that user-specific request. Okay, so this error had nothing to do with old data, I guess. Cast to object ID failed for value undefined. So let me look at what the request is doing. Yeah, undefined. Okay. So the user ID isn't being correctly passed, and I'm sure that's just a mistake I made on the front end somewhere. Let's see. So I have user, this.user.id. Let me just, well, first let me check on the component and make sure that I have the user object correctly. Your object expects an object. Oh, haha, you're right. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, that's my bad. I'm passing in the ID and it's expecting a payload. So yeah, since I'm only passing one thing, I'll go ahead and say user ID. That's fine. Thank you. All right, so now I'm getting these back. Yay, sweet. Awesome. So initially on load, I want to, let's see, call just the user one. So I want this one to be first actually. So what I'm going to do is this on mounted instead of the other one. All right. Sweet. Awesome. And I'll have to paginate and do some other stuff later. So now if I create one, let me just type in anything. So the FJI. Okay, cool. So I have this. And now if I click view all, yay, I have mine and I have the rest of them. Totals is undefined. Totals is undefined. Okay, so I'll need to fix this call. Wait, totals. Let me see. Totals. This dot completed counts. Okay, so that's just saying that I think because I created this maybe new user get, something's wrong with my counts now to count the percentage. So I'll have to debug that later. But I think this is good for this. Let me add that as a dev task. So yeah, I'm gonna drag that over. Sweet. So now, what bug did I just create? Oh yeah, bug totals not calculate. I think it was shown after getting 0 elements. Oh, you think so? Oh. Here. Let's see. Oh, right. Okay. So retrieve totals. So here, in that case, I should just do, I guess if curricula, right? If this dot curricula, and that way if I get 0 elements, it won't do that. Return math.floor. Okay. So else it will return 0. Okay. And I think that'll fix the bug. Yeah. So do I have... Oh, there's no way to delete a curriculum. Oh, I didn't realize I didn't have that yet. So I need to make a way here to delete a curriculum. And then because I have the CRUD operations working, like updates here and stuff. So let me just make that here. Delete functionality for curriculum. And I'll turn that into an issue here. So convert to issue. And then I'm going to put the label front end because the API is already made for that delete functionality. So I just need to do the front end for it. Why won't this close? I don't know why. Okay. That's weird. Oh, there's an X there. Okay, so I think that this stream went pretty well. The app is really coming along. Like, it needs some more styling help, but a lot of the functionality works now. I think it's almost ready to be deployed. I mean, I'll have another live stream on this app on Friday 6 p.m. EDT again. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for all your help. All these streams, however many dozens of streams I've done. Yeah, so this app will, after Friday, I might just go ahead and deploy this app and then, you know, get people to start using it. Oh, I will need to create, so one thing before deployment, I mean, next stream, I'll probably do this and this. Create a settings page because the user needs to be able to do things, basic things like update their password. Oh, one more thing I'll need to do is add email. It would be email, not client, email functionality for users. So like an email to verify, email verification, emails, that kind of stuff. And I can't remember which one I normally use. Is it called Node something? Something like that, but I'll look into that. Oh, JSON Web Tokens. We added expiration for those. Authenticate should check for correct user. We haven't really fully done that yet, so I'm going to leave that. Yeah, it is time to get lunch. Okay, thank you. I'm going to push my code and then go get lunch. Git add, just add everything. Git commit. Code from, what day is it? May 13th. And then git push. Okay. Yeah, me too. I haven't, have I used SendGrid? I feel like I've used that before, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm going to go grab lunch. Thanks for a great stream, everyone. Thanks for all the help, and I'll see you again. Oh, I'm live streaming tonight for an interview, and I'll post that as soon as I'm done with this stream. Have a great day.